Okay, we're here with part two portion of the digestive system. So you learned in the part one portion about more so like the upper digestive system. And I talked about, I guess, an overall review of the whole thing there, but this is the second part. All right, so we're talking about the stomach. Again, the stomach is just a big, large muscle that helps in the digestive process, where that the stomach takes food from the esophagus coming down in here, all right, from the esophagus, okay, and then that's where the food enters from the esophagus into the stomach, all right. Now, some features to know. We call this the esophageal sphincter, or sometimes you might call it the esophageal sphincter or the cardiac sphincter. So, you might hear one of these three terms here. Here on this diagram, they had a cardiac sphincter. Some people refer to that term, but they also use these terms as well. So I want to kind of hit you with all the terms here, right? But nonetheless, what the sphincter is, simply just a muscle that serves as a valve, all right, that kind of opens and closes. All right, so it opens up to allow food from the esophagus to enter the stomach. All right, and then it closes it up there, right, so that the food content can stay in the stomach. All right, as the stomach, as like say, it was a muscular organ that's using the muscles, the smooth muscles, to contract and so on and so forth, as well as the chemicals that's helping in the digestive process. And then you have another sphincter here, okay? We call this the pyloric sphincter, okay? The pyloric sphincter, right? And that helps to control the partially digested food, simply just stay in the stomach before it goes into the small intestine. All right. One reason why they call it the cardiac sphincter is because this portion is kind of actually pretty close to the heart. So, but like I said, there's a number of different terms for it there, right? I'm not aware of any, multiple terms for the pyloric sphincter. But again, like I said, it's just simply just a muscle, a valve, just to hold the food there, and then it will open it up and then release it into the small intestine. All right, so same picture, but just going on the other opposite side here to talk about some of the other terms there, right? So you got the fundus, and that's simply just the upper part of the stomach there. So this upper curve, all right, that forms a bulge, all right, in the higher portion of the stomach. You got just the body, just the main portion of the stomach. The greater curvature, so you have a small curve here, but there's a greater curvature, just more parts of the organs and the cells and the smooth muscles and the epithelial. You have the pylorus, and that's simply just actually, again, like I said, just the opening leading to the duodenum. That goes into the small intestine. Again, the duodenum is a part of the small intestine there, so going from the stomach into the duodenum. All right, just to get yet again another picture of the stomach. Again, the cardiac sphincter, the pyloric sphincter, all right, the duodenum. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the small intestines and the functions there, right? One huge function: absorb most of the nutrients from what we eat and drink. So it's going to absorb it and actually put it into the bloodstream so that our cells can receive the nutrients from the food, the proteins, amino acids, the minerals, vitamins, the fats, the lipids, the proteins, the sucrose, fructose, glucose, and so on and so forth. Now, the small intestines actually, it's pretty long. I mean, if you pull this thing out, it's about 20 feet in length. So it's longer than the large intestines. We'll talk about that there, right? But really, the main difference is small intestines, it's longer than the large intestine. So let's say if that's the small intestine. Didn't draw there very well. And that might be the length of it, say like the large intestine, right? Well, why they call it small intestine? Because if you look at the diameter, small intestine, it looks like this. Large intestine diameter, and again, this is just an estimation here, like so. Does it make sense? So this would be the small intestine, and that would be the large intestine. Okay, so again, small intestine's longer than large intestine, but it's the diameter. That's what I call the small intestine. So we mean diameter from here to here. And the diameter is from here, from one side of the circle to the other side. All right, so that's the diameter. If you remember your math, the radius will be from the middle to the side. All right, and you want to actually calculate, the diameter from the radius. You just take the radius and just simply multiply it by 2. All right, so let's look at here the small intestines here. Right, so going from the stomach to the duodenum. All right, so that's in blue. All right, to the, let's see here. So this is kind of this part here. All right, and the jejunum. All right, so duodenum kind of starts right here, and then the jejunum. Blue, and again, it's just really just twist. I mean, this is 20 feet, so it's definitely way taller than we are. So that's why it has to kind of just twist and curve and move about like so, right? And then you have the ileum, all right? So then, and then just kind of twist and curve. That's the way to simply just fit it into basically your body, all right? And then again, like I said, things are just absorbed right here and then actually moved into your bloodstream and spread throughout the body. Like I said, approximately 20 feet in length. All right, and like I said, materials from the ileum goes from the ileum to the large intestines after that. And again, this portion right here, that's the large intestines. And it goes out. All right. So functions of large intestines. Water is absorbed here, and the remaining waste material is stored as feces before being removed by the body there, right? By way of defecation there, right? So basically, again, the feces is just simply just the remaining portions of food that we release. Is there still food particles in feces? Yes. In fact, like if you see maybe feces from an animal, from a cat, from a dog, you see flies flying around it. Well, flies aren't really interested in eating the feces, but there's still small food particles in the feces that they'll still, that they can find and eat. Like for instance, I mean, if you see basically like feces from horses, from cows, all right, I mean, if you just so happen to look at it, not saying to go out and examine it, but you can still see small fragments and pieces of hay, where that it's food is not 100% used and absorbed and digested there, right? So so yeah, there's still be a little bit of food left, right? So again, this is about 5 to 7 feet long muscular tube. I think I may have said like 8 feet. Yeah, maybe 5 to 7 to 8 feet. Again, shorter in length than the small intestine, but large in diameter. That's why we call it the large intestine. All right, so you have the ascending colon, and the ascending colon actually its function is to reabsorb fluid and process waste products from the body and prepare for its elimination. So it's ascending colon. So when you think of ascending, it's going up, ascending. That's the ascending colon. And that's what you have here, the ascending colon. So again, reabsorbs fluid, prepares for elimination there, right? So it comes from the small intestine, ascending colon, and then it goes to the transverse colon. It runs across the abdomen. And then the descending colon, all right? So more water is being absorbed and so on and so forth, all right? And then you're going to go to the rectum, which holds the stool until it's time for it to be released. And then you have the anus, right? And you have a sphincter muscle, right there to hold it, basically the feces until basically it's kind of begins to fill up here. And then there's going to be signals to your brain say, okay, it's pretty much time for the sphincter muscle to be opened up. And that's when you get the urge to use the restroom and then to simply release. So again, like I said, so this is the large intestines. All right, the ascending colon, ascending going up, ascending up, transverse, trans, the prefix trans means across, so going across the abdomen, and descending, like a plane descending into an airport. All right. Okay. Thank you.